Welcome to the Cotton Club Radio. I'm your host, Cotton Club. Man, oh man. Family, we are in for a treat tonight. Today's episode is going to be called Diaspora Wars. And is there a solution? You heard what I said, family. Diaspora War. And is there a solution? You know, family, I remember the first time I heard of the concept of a diaspora war. This was about 4 years ago or 5 years ago. And before then, I've always known there to be tension between a lot of foreigners and Black Americans. I use my own life as an example. I live in New York City. So there are a lot of foreigners out here. I grew up with a lot of foreigners. Most of the people that I went to school with were foreigners. I would be probably the only Black American in a lot of spaces. So my interactions with foreigners is a very close interaction. So I know them well, family. I know them well. Even before I heard about the concept of a diaspora war, my interactions with foreigners have always been sketchy, family. Always. You know, I remember going to school, and my school was majority Dominican. And there would always be tension. Many of the Dominicans in the Bronx at that time were very hostile toward Black Americans. Many of them were very racist toward Black Americans. And many of them had a very caste system way of thinking, family. Many of them were fresh off the boat. They were coming right off the islands. And their interactions with me weren't good, family. It was very hostile. And even at that time, family, when my first interaction with Dominicans, really, I didn't really know what to think about them. You know, many of them, dressed a certain kind of way. They looked very impoverished. They spoke only Spanish and they hung out with themselves most of the time. But one thing that was consistent with them, family, was their disdain toward Black Americans. I remember interactions with a lot of Dominican women. I've had them personally tell me that they don't date morenos. They don't date Black boys. I thought that was very strange because many of them would appear to look like Black. You understand? At that time, they were very melanated. So when they would tell me, when I would have my first interaction with Dominican women and they would say they didn't date morenos, Black boys, I was very confused, family. I look at my relationships with other foreigners. It wasn't good. I look at my relationship with some Jamaicans. Yeah, I had some friends who were Jamaican, real cool people. I love Jamaicans. But they were Americanized. The ones that I was cool with were very Americanized. You dig? They walk, talk, act just like me. You wouldn't even know they was Jamaican if you didn't ask them. Then you had the Jamaicans who weren't Americanized. They spoke patois most of the time. You come around, they're giving you a screw face. They looking at you real funny. They whispering and talking real funny, grilling you all crazy and being real standoffish. I ran into a lot of those type of Jamaicans too. Those were the majority, to be honest with you. When I would go to the restaurants to get, my favorite oxtail, rice and peas, if it wasn't a female back there, because, Jamaican women tend to give, the women, they were on me, but the dudes were always real jealous. If it was a dude in the front, automatic attitude, looking at me all weird, to the point I didn't even want to order no food, family. Y'all, you feel that way sometimes too, when you go to order some food, but the person attitude is so nasty, you don't even want to order the food no more, or throw you off, you ain't even hungry no more. That's the kind of interaction I was having with a lot of Jamaicans, family. So before this diaspora war even popped off, family, my interactions with foreigners in New York was not great. So let's take it, family. Let's talk about it. So I'm online and I'm hearing a lot of discourse between a lot of foreigners and a lot of foundational Black Americans. And family, I'm going to keep it funky with you, man. It mirrored my experiences with foreigners, family. That's how I knew that the Diaspora War wasn't really a war. It was just a continuation of a specific attitude coming from foreigners toward Black Americans, family. I'll tell you a story. I remember a girl I was dating who was Jamaican, real cool girl, nice girl, sweet girl. I remember one time she wanted me to come over for dinner to her family's house. So I went over, and family, these people were so standoffish, very standoffish. I remember we were at the table having dinner, and the mother brought up Black Americans, family, right in my face, brought up Black Americans. And you know what she said? A lot of Black Americans are on welfare, and a lot of Black Americans don't appreciate, all the gifts they have living in America. She said a lot of Black Americans are lazy. She said that right in front of my face, family. The girl I was dealing with at the time looked at her like she was crazy. This was her own stepmother. She looked at her like she was crazy. This is what I'm talking about, family. They didn't even wait till I left to start bringing up stereotypes at the dinner table. So if you're talking about a diaspora war, it's not a war. It's a continuation of attitudes that have been passed over for generations aimed toward Black Americans. Negative attitudes, family. And I'm going to keep it real with you. These attitudes are indicative of that island mentality, that us against the world mentality. That island mentality was real useful for those Maroons going fighting those British in Jamaica. It was very useful for the Haitians fighting the Spaniards in Haiti to free that island. It was very useful for the Tainos, for all of those indigenous people fighting their European colonizers. Us against the world, I get it. It was very useful. But when they brought that mentality to the United States, that us against you, that started the Diaspora War. The continuation of Black American disdain. The constantly needing to compete with us. Constantly needing to be better than us. The constantly needing to put us down to prop themselves up. We have to understand that this is not both sides. It's not both sides, family. This is coming from foreigners. Don't matter if they're Spanish. We already know their disdain toward Black Americans. Don't matter if they're from the Caribbean. We know many of their disdain for Black Americans. Don't matter if they're from El Salvador or wherever, the Mexicans, wherever. I'm starting to see all of these interactions with foreigners. They all have a specific disdain for Black Americans, family. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that that's by design, family. Let's look at it from a observation perspective. What's the coincidence that all these people come here, they all say the same tropes? Those Black Americans are lazy. They don't want to work. All they want to do is be on welfare. All they want to do is criminal activity. All of them are in jail. All of them are sex crazed, etc. And what's the first thing many of them do when they get over here? Get on welfare, have babies, etc. It's all projection. And these people online disrespecting Black Americans, a lot of it is just projection, family. You understand? So what's the solution? I'll tell you the solution. Many of these people are online being very anti-Black American. Many of them are forming propaganda campaigns against the term FBA, Foundational Black Americans. Many of them are muddying the water about acting like they don't know what a Black American is. Many of these people are doing a lot of bad faith arguments about Black Americans. I saw a lot of TikTok going around with a lot of Black Americans saying, our look is distinguishable and we have a very unique look. And a lot of Africans are saying, no, y'all look African. Anything to discredit our individual greatness. You understand? And it's weird because you'll see those same people online saying that they can distinguish certain African people. So let's get this straight. You can distinguish African people who are on the same continent as different people, but you can't distinguish a people who's 500 years removed from that continent, intermixed in all kinds of stuff, indigenous hair, European there, African, all kinds of mix. And you don't think these people are distinguishable and unique? I mean, the logic in this stuff, family, it just sounds bogus. Why do we need to be the only group in the diaspora who's non-distinguishable? Who's this kind of empty ethnic group with nothing, but everybody can just take and pillage from, family? So we have to be very, very, very careful with these online campaigns to take the Black American and extract his history and plant something that he can't even identify with. Why do I need to be African, family, when my family is from Mississippi? My father's side is from South Carolina. They have a unique, specific culture. In Louisiana, in Virginia, and Alabama, Blackfoot down there. We are a very distinguishable group of people. So why do we need to be this generic African so everyone can leech off of us? It's about time that we start to understand that these diaspora wars are an attack on Black American identity. That's all it is, family. Almost as if to say, you're going to be what we want you to be. And I find that very interesting because Jamaicans get to be Jamaicans, Haitians get to be Haitians, Dominicans get to be Dominicans, Puerto Ricans get to be Puerto Ricans. Nobody talks about how these people are African. But Black Americans who are very, very unique have to be African. If you want a solution to the diaspora, stop doing that. Respect our identity. Respect our ways and customs. Knock on the door. Don't burst in the door. Take your shoes off at the door. Don't walk into our home with your shoes on. If you want this beef or whatever you want to call it to die down, stop saying that FBA is a cult. Stop saying you can't tell the difference between Black Americans and Africans, because that's a lie. Stop saying that Black Americans are pretendians when our grandmothers and grandfathers and aunties and uncles know where they're from and they told us where they're from. We know our indigenous backgrounds. I want to talk to the first and second generation immigrant because I know you. I know you very well. I grew up with you. You understand? You are very Americanized. You understand what I'm talking about. When people say Black Americans don't have a culture, you know that's a lie. You've grown up in our culture. You know our culture. When you used to come outside and play with us, come play freeze tag and manhunt, and you had to go back upstairs to your mama and speak a total different language, eat a total different food from when you was at my house, you knew we were two different cultures. So you understand what I'm saying, family, but I don't see enough of you standing up for Black Americans. I don't see enough of you standing up and saying, you know what? Those Black Americans are our brothers. Those are foundational Black Americans. They paved the way for us. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't even be here. I don't hear enough of y'all talking like that, to be honest with you. Second generation Caribbean peoples. Many of you, I have a lot of love and respect for. Many of you, I've grown to adore your cultures. Many of you have participated in FBA culture, Black American culture. Many of you consider yourselves Black American. I understand your confusion. You can't even go back to your mother country without them calling you an American. But you have to understand, you're not foundational Black American. This is not the country of your origin. So you have to respect our unique form of reparations. And all of you have to make yourself a permanent ally. Not a few of you, all of you. Not enough of y'all are saying those Black Americans need reparations. We know the history. We grew up with them. We know what these YT people did to them. So we need to understand, family, to our first and second generation immigrants who are Americanized, it is your duty to defend foundational Black Americans. Many of you, I have to keep it funky. Many of you, I don't know, man. You want our culture for yourself. Many of you have romanticized being Black American. Many of you want to actually be foundational Black Americans. Many of you play dumb like you don't know what a foundational Black American is. Many of you work with our enemies. You side with our enemies. This is the reason why many of you are getting deported. I can't go to your mother country and side with your enemies. It's against my moral judgment, my moral code. I would never do that. But many of you come over here and the first thing you do is side with YT against Black Americans. You get online, you spread misinformation about Black Americans. You say falsehoods about Black Americans. You say FBA is a group and you know that's a damn lie. Many of you try to get with other foreigners against us. If we are to bridge the gap and find solutions to our matters, we have to be honest and we have to address the disrespect that's been going on coming from our Caribbean family. It's been going on too long. That island mentality needs to. Shouldn't be you against us. If you're not going to respect foundational Black Americans as an identity, as a culture, you can buy a one-trip ticket back to where the hell you came from. That's how I feel. If you're not for reparations for foundational Black Americans, I don't want you near me. Period. You don't even talk to me. You understand? Because if you just want to come to this country, assume your buffer class position, side with my enemies, you might as well be my enemy. We have to address this. You understand? But there are documents in the 60s with Caribbean people talking crazy about Black Americans. So this diaspora friction has been going on since the 60s, family. You understand what I'm saying? This stuff is deep. You know, there's a reason why the CIA and the FBI were basically getting foreigners to infiltrate our organizations, the Black Panther Party, etc. There's a reason. Their loyalty toward us in many cases isn't there. It's that us against you, that island mentality. It needs to go. You're no longer on that island. You're not on the island anymore. It doesn't need to be us against you. And I also want to talk about this whole fake both sides narrative, because that's a lie. You understand? It's never really been both sides. Yeah, you're getting a lot of pushback from FBAs now, from Black Americans now, because many of them, to be honest with you, they're well in their rights to feel away. You got people like Byron Donald saying he would never push for reparations because his family is from Panama and Jamaica. What kind of mess is that, family? He said he would not push for foundational Black Americans to get reparation because his family wouldn't get it. That's the problem. That's an act of war. What are you talking about? You understand? And if we're going to have some solutions with this stuff, family, we got to draw boundaries. Stop the lies. The lies have to stop. All right? Jamaicans, you didn't create hip hop. Stop lying. Puerto Ricans, you didn't create hip hop. Stop lying. Did you participate? Oh yeah. Did you do great things? Exceptional. But did you create it? Hell no. That's our music. those samples. That's us. Not a love for Kool Herc, but all he did was spin our records. That's what he was doing. All right, he created the merry-go-round. You know what that is? Repeat. Repeat. How the hell could you credit that man for creating a whole entire culture that he had to assimilate into? Are you crazy? Stop doing that. Stop it. If you want to have solutions to this diaspora war, or whatever you want to call it, conflict, beef, whatever, stop lying and be honest. Be truthful. Tell the truth. It's okay to say those Black Americans influenced us. It's okay to say those Black Americans were the cool kids. We thought what they were doing was cool, so we copied and imitated it and adopted it into our culture. It's okay to say that, family. You don't need to steal it. And you don't need to claim it as your own. It's not yours. If we're going to stop this diaspora beef, you gotta stop claiming what's not yours, family. If I moved to Jamaica and had children there who were first generation Jamaican, and they amalgamated themselves into Jamaican culture and contributed to the culture, did they create it? Stop playing. It's going on too far. This is the problem, family. I want to say this as well to the Africans, because I got to talk to you guys for a little while. I talked to the Caribbeans. I love y'all. Now I'm going to move on. Let's talk to the Africans for a second. Stop lying about the African booty scratcher stuff. We're going to end this diaspora beef with the Africans. Stop lying. African booty scratcher was not a designated term for an African. Okay? I'm foundational Black American. I didn't grow up with no Africans. I was called an African booty scratcher. Okay? That was just a joke of many. It wasn't for you. So I'm tired of you getting on these online forums and lying because somebody told you that they got called an African booty scratcher because somebody told them that. Stop it. We're not doing that. That's us. That's our stuff. We got plenty of jokes. We got plenty more where that came from. You come around us looking crazy, you will get joked on. Family, we all got joked on. I got joked on, man. And to keep it funky with you, if you come around my family now, we all going to joke on each other. And we all fresh. We all fly. But Black Americans, that's just the way we are. We joke with each other, family. You should be around my brothers. You understand? You should be around my brothers. Every time my brother see me, he got some slick joke to say. You understand? Like, playing the dozens is indicative to Black American culture. No one created no name for none of you. We've never had a name for Caribbean people. We never had a name for Africans. Black Americans, we just didn't have names for y'all because we didn't view you as opposition. We just viewed you as another person, another Black person. Yeah, you might have dressed funny, might have talked funny, but we still knew you was Black. Yeah, we saw you go home and we saw your mom's, wearing dreads or your mom's wearing loud colors. We knew she was a little different than our moms, but we knew she was still Black. We just didn't view you as opposition. So the lies, if we are to heal the wounds of this diaspora beef or conflict, the lies have to stop and we have to talk truth to power. Black Americans have done nothing but show love and respect to the diaspora. We lived with all of you. We've lived with all of you. All of you have come here and all of you can say you've had great experience with Black Americans. None of you can say that we singled you out. None of you. And if you're saying that, you're lying. You didn't get singled out because you was Jamaican. You didn't get singled out because you was African. You didn't get singled out because you was Haitian. Got singled out because your hair was PZ. Just like mine. That's why I got singled out. You got singled out because you didn't have uptowns on. You had skippies. Because you had high waters. Because you had a button-down shirt and it was 90 degrees outside. So dudes let you have it. Oh yeah, they let you have it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got it, family. Or you got it because you was ashy. Let's keep it funky. You was ashy. You understand? You know what? I'm going to share with y'all a little story, family. I remember when I was in the 4th grade, I had a period where I didn't like brushing my hair and I didn't like putting on a lotion or Vaseline or anything like that. And my foster mom, she started catching wind of it. You know, I'm walking around ashy. So one day I was going to school and I was looking real ashy and my hair was looking real peasy. And she stopped me at the door and she said, "Come here." And you know what she did, family? She took a old, we used to have that, you know, that green grease. Black Americans know what I'm talking about, that old green grease. You understand? She took that green grease. She said, "Sit right here." I sat right down near her lap. She took that green grease and she just combed my hair like this. Took the comb and just did like that. Like that. Just, boy, I was like this. She didn't care. She just got the brushing on my naps. You understand? And then when she was done with that, she said, "Go get the Vaseline." Went upstairs to go get the Vaseline. She took that Vaseline and she just, all over my face, family. I'm telling you, when I left that house, I felt violated. You understand? Face was all oily. Hair was shingy. But I learned a valuable lesson, family. I learned a valuable lesson. You understand? It ain't cool to be ashy. And it ain't cool to have your hair all peasy, family. I know some of y'all, you know, who not a part of the culture, you don't understand the language that I'm talking about. These are not epithets. This is Black American culture, family. You have to understand us. Stop standing outside looking in and guessing and assuming. Talk to us. Come around us. We're good people. We're loving people. We're spiritual people, family. We've all been the butt of all jokes. You understand? It's never personal. So to the African family, if we are to mend our relationship, you have to start telling the truth. And you have to start checking people when you know they're lying. I want to move on from the Africans. I want to talk to these UK people. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. A lot of y'all in the UK, you're real disrespectful. Real disrespectful. And in fact, when I was hearing the term Diaspora War, a lot of it was linked to the UK. You see, the thing about the UK that makes me wonder, because they like to say little slick stuff, like Black Americans don't know where we come from. And you know that's a lie. We come from right here. 25 generations. I look at my family, my grandmama, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Cherokee. You understand? My father's side, Gullah Geechee. You understand? Traditions, generations, building culture. Family. I look at my family, all the different complexions, all the colors, all the features, locked in to Black American genetics. So when people say things like these folks in the UK, they don't know where they come from. Not only do they tell me that they're ignorant, but they know nothing about Black Americans. And to speak so matter of fact and to know nothing about us tells me that these people are either paid agents or they're doing this for clicks and views. Because if all you have to do is get online and talk mess about Black Americans, then not only are you a lowlife, you're a tether as well. I look at the culture there in the UK. copy and paste culture. Black American, they copy Black American culture. You understand? Yes, they have their Caribbean culture there. They have their African culture there. I don't see no British Black culture, to be honest with you, family. I just don't see it. There's no comparison. Stop comparing yourselves to Black Americans. Carve out your own identity. You're not Black Brits. You're African Brits. You're Caribbean Brits. You're not Black Brits. All right? Because what you're doing is you're trying to carbon copy yourself after us, and you don't have our shared history. You don't have anything like us. But you talk down on us and you disrespect us. If we are to heal the wounds in which you've caused, stop saying Black Americans have no culture. Stop saying Black Americans don't know who we are. Stop saying Black Americans don't know where they come from. The solutions lie in the diaspora. We don't have a problem with you people, but we will defend ourselves. Do not underestimate us. Don't think for 1 second that we've survived in this country for 500 years and so on because we're cowards. Don't think that we've survived in this country and then we didn't learn nothing. We've given you culture. We've given you a blueprint, and the thanks we get is you talking crazy about us. That has to stop, family. So if we are going to share the globe, the planet, the hate, the disdain, and the disrespect for foundational Black American culture needs to stop today, right now. We are foundational Black Americans, family. This is our country and the country of our forebearers. The blood they shed is the blood we represent. We don't talk like nobody else. We are who we are.
King. Look, let your angel sing. I ain't twisted, this ain't the Henny talking for me. This is literally Malcolm Little talking through me. I ain't possessed, this is just when spirit meets the flesh, and a revolutionary is born, nothing less. It's hard for me to cope with stress, especially when I see the world much different from the rest. I can't sleep, nightmares, waking up cold sweat, wondering if I ever made it, will they do me like the rest? For my black souls who really do upset the rest, so they wander through my dreams, please tell me what this means.